What's up, fam? You're now listening to another episode of Ring King Boxing for the true boxing fam. Listen, fam, we got a breakdown right here of George Kambosos versus Devin Haney for the undisputed lightweight champion. This is gonna be awesome, man. First and foremost, I'd like to give a shout out to the family members for joining us on this installment of Ring Kings Boxing. We're going to play a snippet, maybe a few minutes of the back and forth between Devin Haney and George Kambosos during the press conference in which Kambosos calls Devin Haney a rat and an informant. That's very weird language to use when you're talking about your opponent. Now, Kambosos was known to be a guy that talked a little bit, but of course, as the champion, his confidence is through the roof. But let me tell you something, Devin Haney, I got to give a lot of respect to Devin Haney for doing what he did insofar as reaching out and trying to make this fight possible. There's so many things that this brother has to go through just to get this fight, man. Just to get this fight with Kambosos. A bunch of stuff that he had to walk through to basically get it. And it's almost like when you see things happen with Floyd Mayweather back in the G, when Floyd Mayweather would simply say, listen, you tell me where you want to fight, you give me what you think I deserve, and I'll fight you in the phone booth. So many people just don't have that mentality when they're trying to make these great fights. And listen, the type of stuff that Kambosos told Haney that he would have to do, get vaccinated, that's one. The money is not exactly what he wants it to be. He wants more, but that's fine. He took it. He put his belt on the line, just told the unification, switching promoters in the network. Yep, how about that? The rematch clause in the contract, he gave him that. He's fighting him in Australia, which the last time we had a big fight in Australia is when Horn took on Pacquiao, and that was some trickery, some dirty, underhanded stuff that occurred where the judges erroneously gave that to Jeff Horn. If that's okay, later on, Terrence Crawford beat the brakes off of him to take the belt. You haven't heard from Horn since, but he was fighting in Australia. Funny shit happens down up there. So regardless of that, we still understand that the fact that Devin Haney took all of that, even his father, who is his coach, is not there as well, who has not been able to get into the country. So he is basically all of these shortcomings Devin Haney had to deal with just to make this fight. And of course, he's dealing with the fact that Kambosos is calling him a rat. Now, coming into this thing, Kambosos has 3 of the belts right there, as you can see. In terms of Devin Haney has 1 strictly unification. Kambosos is 20-0 with 10 knockouts versus Devin Haney 27-0 with 15 knockouts. Listen, a little back information, back history on this. We've been watching Devin Haney come up for years. Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, and several other really young fighters that me and my former partner Eddie Two Ming Johnson, who passed on due to COVID last year. Much love and respect to my brother. I'm doing these with him, watching me. We've talked a lot about Devin Haney, and I'm just so proud of these young fighters like Devin Haney that they are there at that plateau. He has an opportunity to be undisputed at lightweight 135. This will be awesome. I'm so happy for that, brother. And listen, Devin Haney is going to put that work in on Kambosos, and you can see Kambosos is a good fighter. Don't get me wrong. I just think Devin Haney is in another league of his in his own right. So even if you look at the amateur rankings between these guys, it's a vast difference between the two in terms of amateur backing behind him and his abilities. And I mean, it's just a lot of great stuff there. And then calling him a rat like that, that's just totally stupid. But anyway, one of the key things that Team Haney is worried about is the officiating, the judges. them getting it right. But an eye will be on Australia because of what happened the last time they had a big fight down there, which is why they don't get a lot of these big fights, because they be cheating their ass off with these judges. So we have to keep an eye out for that for Devin Haney. Let's make it fair, because I'm expecting the Devin Haney to beat the brakes off of George Kambosos. I'm gonna just keep it real. Not saying Kambosos is just gonna get wiped out, but Devin Haney's a different type of person. He's a different type of fighter. So anyway, let me play for you guys some of the snippet from their interview, their back and forth between Kambosos and Devin Haney during their press conference. Here we go.
I really don't know. I really don't know how they let this guy into the country, to be honest. I don't think they let informants into the country. This guy's an informant. This guy's a rat. I'll tell you why. I will tell you why. Because in the Teofimo Lopez fight against a foreigner, his own countryman, he was messaging me, telling me all the details, every bit. Teo at the hookah lounge, Teo having problems with his wife. This is the kind of person. This is the kind of person. This is a rat. This is a rat. This is a snitch. This is an informant. And you know what? This is your countryman, your own countryman. You're going behind his back. So you know what? On Sunday, I'm gonna whip your ass. And you know when you get back to Las Vegas, you'll be on the lookout for Teofimo Lopez. He'll be looking for you too. Trust me. And if you don't believe me, I'll put it out straight after this presser. Yes or no? Was it the truth? Yes or no?
That's right.
That's a rat. That's a rat. Is that a rat? That's a rat. That's an informant. That's a rat.
What was the consequence?
Yes or no? Were you not ratting on your own?
What was the consequence?
Were you not ratting on your own countryman?
I had both sides of it. If he won, I would fight Teo. If you win, I would fight you.
Right. Were you not ratting on your own countryman? Yes or no? Did you not first message me?
Do you know the definition of
this
a
guy
rat?
acts like a gangster. He ain't like gangster. He's as fake as that belt. Okay? This guy ain't like gangster.
Why
This
didn't
guy's
you
a
bring the
rat.
belt?
This is the informant. You know what? You didn't get to see him because you missed the first press conference. You didn't get to see him. You'll see him when you want on Friday, and that's the closest you get to it. Yeah, this is huge. This is on obviously main event, KO Sports here on pay-per-view, ESPN free to air over in the US. It's amazing. Look, this is what the sport's about. I made this happen. I chose the biggest fights possible. I took out Teofimo Lopez. Obviously, this guy. Everyone knew that I was prepared to fight Lomachenko. That was done. He couldn't make it because of his war. No problem, Devin. You want to step up? Step up. And he did. Okay? But he was forced into this. He is not my mandatory. He is not. Are you my mandatory? Are you my mandatory?
The government wouldn't have put up the money if it wasn't against me.
The government had the money ready for Lomachenko.
Here, Loma.
The government was ready with Lomachenko.
And then Loma couldn't fight, so then you had to pick me.
No, incorrect. I could have fought anyone. I could have fought the garbage man outside if I wanted to, but I chose you. You were not my mandatory. I picked you. So you know what? You're here, and everything is ready to go on Sunday.
I mean, it's just amazing, man, the kind of noise that Kambosos was talking to Devin Haney, called him a rat, calling him an informant. And then, like I just mentioned, all of the things that Devin Haney had to do just to go down there to fight him in Australia. So, like they said, they had to deal with all that, and this will be a tremendous win for Devin Haney because, listen, no disrespect to Team Kambosos, but listen, like I said, Devin Haney knows what time it is, and this kind of goes back to the days of the throwback fighters, when back in the day, these old guys would get together like and say, listen, forget all that stuff. We're going to hash it out, because it's very rare that you actually see situations where you see these fighters go for unification. It's a very fortunate thing, and I keep saying it, when you're able to witness unification. I'm going to be honest with you. Very special if you can witness unification. But this is a lot of talking back and forth. Kambosos, Devin Haney. Devin Haney knows that Kambosos doesn't have anything for him. That he beats Kambosos in every possible way. The only way Devin Haney loses this is that he's not on his square. That he's off in this fight. But if he is regular Devin Haney and active Devin Haney, he should beat George Kambosos. And if I was Devin Haney, I wouldn't push for the knockout. We know that he can knock people out. We know that he has 15 knockouts on his 27-0 record, but he does have that knockout ability. I wouldn't say press for the knockouts, but you won't leave very much room for the judges to kind of carry this thing in Kambosos' favor. And of course, remember, there's an automatic rematch clause that when Devin Haney does beat him, then George Kambosos get an opportunity to rematch for the belts again. He slid that one in there, and that was smart for him to do that. But anyway, this is going to be a good fight. It's coming up this weekend, family. Kambosos is 20-0 with 10 knockouts versus Devin Haney 27-0 with 15 knockouts. His pops ain't there. He had to do all of this other stuff that I named to get there, and I'm so very proud of Devin Haney. He gets an opportunity for unification in this fight, man. It's going to be special to watch that occur. So what do you guys think? Y'all let me know how you think what happens here. I would, and I call the Tank Davis and Rolly Romero fight. I said think Tank gets him out of there in 7. Hell, Tank got him out of there in 6. In this one, I think that I don't know if I wouldn't say that he knocks Kambosos out, but I think he beats, let's say he beats Kambosos. I think he gets him out of there in 9 rounds, maybe 10 rounds right there. I'm gonna give it to the Dream. I'm gonna tell him that he should get him out of there in 10 and kind of take it upon himself when he hurts Kambosos to get him out of there and take the fight out of the hands of the judges, because we know that there's a propensity for them to be a little cheating going on, just like what happened in Horn and Pacquiao. So with that being said, that'll be the end of the Ring Kings boxing preview from Kambosos versus Devin Haney for the Undisputed Lightweight Championship. All 4 belts are on the line. It's going to be fun watching this weekend. We had Tank last weekend. We got Devin Haney coming up this weekend. Very special fighters. Tank Davis, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson. These are terrific young fighters, man. And I'm telling you that if they are getting their due right now, and it'd be cool to see Devin Haney become undisputed, man. So the Charlos, all of them are getting their due right now, and it's absolutely terrific to see that happening in the sport of boxing right now. So you guys put in the comment section, let me know what you think about this fight, who wins, and give me a round. I say Haney gets him out of there. I say 10 rounds. What do you guys, what are your calls on it? Let me know in the description section of the comment section below. I'm Big Q with this episode of Ring Kings Boxing. I'm gonna holler at you later. Peace. Feel free to hit the like button and to share the show with other boxing family members, and subscribe to Ring King Boxing today. Much love, peace, and I'll see y'all later.